memory lane. And there was a guy over at the Barbary who was gambling, left a whole bunch of chips there, and suddenly you wind up trying to seek him out across the street at Caesars.
Another casino's chips, Jimmy. Remember when?
Do you remember the incident?
What are you picking on me for? I thought
No,
we
we're not
pals.
picking on you.
Yes, you are.
No. I just love your anecdotes.
What's an anecdote? What actually?
I want to
is
hear
that?
your stories.
Not an
I want to hear your bullshit. Whatever you want to do. All right. You take it any way you want.
You know how to hurt a guy. you.
No. I love Memory Lane with Jimmy.
You want
V.
the story, the correct story?
Yeah, I do.
There you go.
Well, first of all, before we go there, everybody out there, pay attention to Jimmy on this one. Panthers are going to close 5.5. The public has lost complete trust in the Detroit Lions. That game's going to go up. That'll be one of the monster teaser bets for this weekend. Is give me the Carolina Panthers at even money or +1. I am telling you, you can field these things. The only way that any outfit guy would take the Lions if you get a 6-ball. I don't think it's going to go that high. But trust me on that one, after you're done making fun of me, that this game will go up.
How could you trust a coach who takes his team outside to practice in the snow when his games are played in a dome?
Might go to 7 now.
There you go.
That's what happened in Detroit. Okay, take us down memory lane.
Jim Toback. A lot of people know of him. Some people don't. Naturally, it's been quite a while. It was the year of the baseball strike, 81?
Right.
81.
Right, in the early 80s.
And Jim Toback was gathering all this momentum around town as someone was playing real high on the baseball games.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, Harry Gordon's Churchill Dine was the Mecca.
Right.
Sammy Cohen's at a couple down the street, but Harry Gordon was the Mecca of the early big-time bookmakers early on. So Jim Toback went in there and started betting baseball at a high number, and everybody knew who he was, so they would wait for him to come. Churchill Downs right now is right near where the Paris is on the Strip, okay? And we were right at the Barbary Coast on the corner. So I was instructed to go out and tackle him and see if he wanted to come and make some arrangements at the Barbary Coast to start betting his baseball there.
Mm-hmm.
So I tackled him, and I brought him over. There was me, Michael Gaughan, and Jack Franzi. And the rules were laid out real quick. Instead of a one-number thing and a limit on a certain thing, here's what the deal would be. Exactly how the deal went down. Jim Toback doesn't remember this as well as I do, because I'm just a youngster. I said, look at all this mashed potatoes flying around. So here was the deal. Okay, let's say a game was a minus $1.30, okay?
Right.
He could lay $1.30 for $5,000. We made the game $1.10. Mm-hmm. He could lay the $1.10 for $10,000. Then we would have the game minus $1.15. This was the quirker. At minus $1.15, he can bet what he wants because it's a third number in the progression, all right?
Right.
So he laid 5, 10, and 15. Okay, first bet. I'm sitting there writing it down. Jack's giving him the numbers we're starting with. So, okay, and he's eating. He's eating. His head's down. Okay, minus 30 to win 5,000, 6,500 to win 5,000. Okay, minus 30 minus a dime. Okay, you 13,000 to win 10,000. Ready? Minus 15. 115,000 to win $100,000, and never raised his face. He was eating. His face was in the bowl. I'm telling you, on the square ball. I look at Jack. Jack looks at me. We look at each other. Michael says, "That's the rules we gave him." So he would bet 80% of the games. The same similar situation. Then after this was all done, this was a handwriting time too. Remember, there was no computers. So every time he'd get done with like 3 or 4 games, he would bet parlays, 3-team parlays for 5,000 to 10,000 each. So he bet anywhere between 600 and 900,000 a day on baseball. Get his little pocket, and he flew back to L.A. And then he started to play blackjack also. He loved to play blackjack. Here's the best part of the story. Everybody laughs at Jimmy. Not just you, a lot of people.
I'm not laughing. I'm listening.
So one day, Michael Gaughan would run in the morning, and because he knew the nutcase was there, he said, well, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? I tell him what I did the night before, where we are, who we bet. And we penciled out all the tickets, wrote all the bets down, and he would give us the winning tickets, and we would use that against the new tickets that we wrote.
Right.
Well, after he gave us all the tickets, he now was like $37,000 short. He didn't try to do it, but that's what he was. So Michael Gonk, I said, Michael, I said, this guy ran out of here. I said, I figure he's at Churchill Downs or he's at Caesar's Palace. And Michael said, well, go get him, go get him. Gaming was aware of what's going on, so Michael didn't want to watch gaming come in and run down our drawer and be $37,000 short. Are we showing favoritism towards one guy? So Michael said, go get the money. Go get the money. So little Jimmy, that's me,
Right.
runs across the street. You open the door of Caesar's Palace. You see this huge, Vinny's laughing too because he knows exactly where this happened. So there's a pit. Brent, there must have been 100 people surrounding the pit.
That's right.
They had 7 squares on the blackjack table, like 7 different players could play at one time. He bet all 7 squares for $10,000 each. So each deal was $70,000 in action. I said, this is going to really be a bargain for Jimmy to get in there and get his head cracked open. So all I wanted was the $37,000.
Right.
You ready?
Sure.
So I'm waving. He sees me. And he goes, hey, there's Jimmy. Let him in, let him in. I said, this is just what I need. Every big shot in Caesar's Palace was there. And here I'm walking in. And he said, sit down, Jimmy. I said, oh, man, what am I getting into now? I sit at the table with him. Brent, he would never take a hit if he had a chance to go over. He never hit a hand. He would just always play it like the dealer was going to bust. So he'd win all the 7 squares. He never took a hit. If he had 15 against an ace, he wouldn't take a hit. He just figured in the long run, he's going to $70,000 smash. Now, here's the best part. And people out there, you can believe me or not, but I don't lie. I'm too old to lie. He won 3 hands in a row that the dealer bust. That's $210,000 in what? What, Vinny, 90 seconds?
Yeah.
Whatever, 90
minutes,
seconds.
yeah.
So Wingy Gruber was one of those East Coast guys that the outfit sent him over to like watch over things. They called him Wingy because he had a bad arm. So then they opened up a delicatessen called Wingy's also.
Wingy's was in the back of the sports book at Caesar.
So Wingy walks up to the table. Hey, Jim, how you doing? Okay, Wingy. How you doing? Good. Jim, you wanted to put that in the cage for you. Are you ready for this? Jimmy's standing there now, all these people. Hey, Wingy, how about going and F yourself? Now, why did Wingy do that? I mean, why did Jim do that? Here's why. We all know of Toback. He wrote and directed The Gambler, maybe one of the greatest gambling movies ever, ever, ever. Believe me, that was Jim Toback. That was Jim Toback. They did the movie there in 1973. I believe it was 73. He was there and gambled the whole time I was there. He went broke. He stayed an extra 5 days, and Wingy and them threw him out of the hotel because he didn't have any more money left. That's why he told Wingy, that's what he told him, 10 years later, whenever they did the movie. The movie was 63 then, right? Whenever it was. Whenever it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're at the cage. Now, I said, Jim, you owe $37,000. Could you just give that to me so I can get out of here? I get the money. Little Jimmy again. Walk across the street. I entered the barbecues and I heard this big 400-pound guy bellowing, "Where's Vaccaro at? Where's Vaccaro?" It's Michael. The Caesar's Palace big shots called Michael and said, "What are you doing, Michael, coming in, having your guy cut in front of our guy who's betting $70,000 a hand?" Michael was screaming. I said, "Michael, that wasn't what happened. I sat down." He got front about $1.5 million. The baseball strike comes. We don't see him for a while. He shows up when their strike is done, and now exhibition football season. This is where we got all the money back. You talk about a guy with nerves.
I see.
Okay, say you had a football game, -3. Okay, he would lay -3 for 10,000. He'd lay -4 for 10,000. He'd lay -5 for 10,000. He did that 6 numbers on every exhibition football game. So he'd bet almost like $1 million. We got all the money back plus some in about 2.5 weeks. That's my Toback story. You want anything else? Why you throw me out of here?
Thank you very much. That's a hell of a story. Take a break. We'll come back and we'll give you your heart out. VSIN.com, Sirius XM. He's the one and only Jimmy Vaccaro, 204.
It's My Guys in the Desert.